Hi guys, this is FD for Sage5.tv once more back with another video, and today we are going to do our 2k to 100k portfolio challenge update as usual, of course. And also as usual guys, please note what I'm going to share with you in this video is not financial advice. If you require financial advice, you know what to do. So let's jump in straight away. Our 2k to 100k portfolio challenge, where we picked around 20 projects and our aim was to invest around $100 into each of those projects with the aim of turning $2,500 into 100k. Is that possible? We don't know, but let's wait and find out. Let's wait for the next bull run. As some of you noticed last week and even this week, there will be some winners there. So don't say we don't give you some alpha. This is proper alpha that we give you on this channel. Anyway, let's jump in. Starting with Moonbeam, the Polkadot parachain. Last week's price was 14.4 cents. Portfolio value was $44.44. Week on week, we were down 4.8%. Overall, we were down a massive 56%. This week's price is 45.4 cents. Portfolio value is sitting at $45.44. Week on week, we are up 2.3%. Overall, we are down 57.1%. It also makes Moonbeam one of the worst performing projects within our portfolio. Next up is Pangolin and its PNG token and AvalancheDEX. We recently did a DYOR risk evaluation on Pangolin. If you want to see that video, please check the links down below. Anyway, last week's price was 7.5 cents. Portfolio value was sitting at $159.34. Week on week, we were down 13.1%. Overall, we're still up 66.5%. This week's price is sitting at 8.1 cents. Portfolio value is sitting at $170.74. Week on week, this week we are up 7.2%. Overall, we are up 55%. So Pangolin is one of the strongest projects within our portfolio for this week, that is. Next up is Fala Network, the alpha of the past week. It went up 300% during the last week. I hope you guys took some profits. If you didn't, why not? You can always take profits and then come back in. Not financial advice, of course. Last week's price for the FAR token, PHA, was sitting at 8.1 cents. Portfolio value last week when we did the video was sitting at $80.79. Week on week, we were down 8.6%. Overall, we were down 19%. This week's price is sitting at 23.8 cents. Portfolio value is sitting at $239.14. Week on week, we are up 196%. Overall, we are up 119.1%. So there you go. That is proper alpha with Dishon here. And if you were checking us on Twitter as well, we were very active during that massive run up. I think it went up to 44 or 45 cents or somewhere thereabout. That makes Fala the best performing asset within our 2k to 100k portfolio challenge for this week. Next up is Blockchain Monster Hand and its BCMC token. Last week's price was 1.1 cent. Portfolio value was sitting at $61.83. Week on week, we were down 2.6%. Overall, we were down 39%. This week's price is sitting at 1 cent. Portfolio value is sitting at $56.10. Week on week, we are down 9.3%. Overall, we are down 46.1%, which makes Blockchain Monster Hand one of the worst performing projects within our 2k to 100k portfolio for this week. Next up is Polkadex with its PDEX token, a Polkadot decentralized exchange. And I do believe their mainnet or their order book is imminent. It might have launched or is launching sometime this weekend. I'm not sure, but I know it's imminent. Last week's price was sitting at $1.27. Portfolio value was sitting at $82.13. Week on week, we were down 9.1%. Overall, we were down 15%. This week's price is sitting at $1.42. Portfolio value is sitting at $91.80. Week on week, we are up 11.8%. Overall, we are down 13.7%. So there is a slight improvement there, obviously due to the upcoming order book launch. Next up is Iagon and its IAG token. Again, as usual, with this one, take the figures with a pinch of salt because the numbers we present, they are the Ethereum version of the IAG token. I do believe this is on Cardano and it will have a totally different price. Anyway, last week was sitting at 0.3 cents. Portfolio value was sitting at $30.98. Week on week, we were down 22.7%. Portfolio value was down 63.4%. This week's price is sitting at 0.4 cents. Portfolio value is sitting at $38.55. Week on week, we are up 13.4%. Overall, we are still down almost 68%. And that makes Iagon one of the worst performing projects within our 2k to 100k portfolio challenge. Next up is the Graph Network and its GRT token. Last week's price was sitting at 8.9 cents. Portfolio value was sitting at $90.40. Week on week, we were down 8.1%. Overall, we're down minus 1.4%. This week's price is sitting at 7.6 cents. Portfolio value is sitting at $77.82. Week on week, we're down 13.9%. Overall, we are down 22.1%, which makes the Graph and its GRT token, one of the worst performing projects within our crypto portfolio, the 2K to 100K portfolio. Next up is Akala Network and its ACA token. Last week's price was sitting at 16.8 cents. Portfolio value was sitting at $85.81. Week on week, we were down 6.1%. Overall, we were down 24.3%. This week's price is sitting at 15.9 cents. Portfolio value this week is sitting at $81.07. Week on week, we are down 5.5%. Overall, we are down 32.8%, which makes Akala and its ACA token one of the worst performing projects within our 2K to 100K portfolio challenge for this week. Next up is Efinity and the EFI token. This is a Polkadot parachain once again, but developed by Engine. Last week's price was sitting at 10.3 cents. Portfolio value was sitting at $98.14. Week on week, we were down 2.6%. Overall, we were down 23.5%. This week's price is sitting at 12.2 cents. Portfolio value is sitting at $115.91. Week on week, we are up 18.1%. Overall, we are still down 12%. That's a significant improvement from last week, that is. Next up is Oasis Network and its ROS token. Last week's price was 5.6 cents. Portfolio value was sitting at $114.41. Week on week, we were down 4.8%, and there was no change in the percentage from the previous week, that is, compared to last week. This week's price is sitting at 5.5 cents. Portfolio value is sitting at $112.75. Week on week, we are down 1.5%. Overall, we are down 6.2%. Still a strong project for us based on our entry price. Next up is Holoride and its RUNE token, a metaverse project based on RUNE network. Last week's price was sitting at 13.4 cents. Portfolio value was sitting at $78.56. Week on week, we were down 8.8%. Overall, we were down 15.2%. This week's price is 13.6 cents. Portfolio value is sitting at $80.20 for this week. Week on week, we are up 2.1%. Overall, we are still down 21.1%, which makes Holoride one of the worst performing projects within our 2K to 100K portfolio challenge for this week. Next up is MintSwap and its Mint token, a Cardano decentralized DEX. Last week's price was 1.4 cents. Portfolio value was sitting at $50.87. Week on week, we were down 10.7%. Overall, we were down 42.9%. This week's price is sitting at 1.2 cents. Portfolio value is sitting at $44.85. Week on week, we are down 11.8%. Overall, we are down 55.1%, which makes MintSwap one of the worst performing projects for our 2K to 100K portfolio challenge for this week. Next up is SundaeSwap and its Sundae token, another Cardano decentralized exchange. Last week's price was sitting at 2.2 cents. Portfolio value was sitting at $75.56. Week on week, we were down 11.2%. Overall, we were down 23.9%. This week, the Sundae token is sitting at 2.1 cents. Portfolio value is sitting at $70.29. Week on week, we are down 7%. Overall, we are down 37.1%, which makes Sundae and its Sundae token one of the worst performing projects within our 2K to 100K portfolio challenge for this week. Next up is Trader Joe and its Joe token. Last week's price was sitting at 20.5 cents. Portfolio value was sitting at $67.04. Week on week, we were down 8.8%. Overall, we were down 40.6%. This week's price is sitting at 19 cents. Portfolio value is sitting at $62.28. Week on week, we are down 7.1%. Overall, we are down 49.7%, which makes Trader Joe and its Joe token one of the worst performing assets within our 2K to 100K portfolio challenge for this week. Next up is the ImmutableX and its IMX token. Last week's price was sitting at 65.2 cents. Portfolio value was sitting at $65.29. Week on week, we were down 11.6%. Overall, we were down 33.0%. This week's price is sitting at 54.1 cents. Portfolio value is sitting at $54.14. Week on week, we are down a massive 17.1%. Overall, we are down 50.8%, which makes ImmutableX one of the worst performing projects within our 2K to 100K portfolio challenge for this week. Next up is Star Atlas and its Atlas token. Last week's price was sitting at 0.4 cents. Portfolio value was sitting at $63.11. Week on week, we were down 10.1%. Overall, we were down 40.3%. This week's price is sitting at 4 cents. I'm sure there are decimals there. Portfolio value for this week is sitting at $58.81. Week on week, we are still down 6.8%. Overall, we are down 50%, which makes Star Atlas one of the worst performing projects within our 2K to 100K portfolio challenge. But again, as with what happened with Fala, you never know. Some of these projects could enjoy the same rich vein of form. You never know. 300% was within 24 or 48 hours. 300%. There you go. But it has since come down, price of Fala. So you never know with some of these. 50% in crypto is next to nothing. that I can vouch for. Anyway, next up is NearProtocol and its Near token. Last week's price was sitting at $3.13. Week on week, we were down 11.2%. Overall, the portfolio was down 32.4%. This week's price has come down again to $2.79. Portfolio value is sitting at $55.95. Week on week, we are down 10.9%. Overall, the Near position is down 46.5%, which makes Near one of the worst performing projects within our 2K to 100K portfolio challenge for this week. Next up is World Mobile Token and its WMT token. Last week's price was sitting at 16.9 cents. Portfolio value was sitting at $74.30. Week on week, we were down 12.5%. Overall, we were down 15.1%. This week's price is sitting at 15.1 cents. Portfolio value this week is sitting at $66.34. Week on week, we are down 10.7%. Overall, we are down 33.7%, which makes World Mobile Token one of the worst performing projects within our 2K to 100K portfolio challenge for this week. Next up is Kilt protocol and its Kilt token, another Polkadot and Kusama parachain. This one is migrated from Kusama to Polkadot recently. Last week's price was sitting at 57.9 cents. Portfolio value was sitting at $80.74. Week on week, we were down 9.7%. Overall, we were down 11%. This week's price has come down to 55.7 cents. Portfolio value is sitting at $77.58. Week on week, we are down 3.9%. Overall, we are down 22.7%, which makes Kilt protocol one of the worst performing projects within our 2K to 100K portfolio challenge. And then finally, Chain and its RUNE token. Last week's price was sitting at $1.52. Portfolio value was sitting at $80.40. Week on week, we were down 3.8%. Portfolio value was down overall 20.3%. This week's price is sitting at $1.40. Portfolio value is sitting at $74.34. Week on week, we are down 7.5%. Overall, we are down 29.2%, which makes Chain and the RUNE token one of the worst performing positions within our 2K to 100K portfolio challenge for this week. There you have it, folks. Those are your positions. The stars of past 2 weeks now: Pangolin, a decentralized DEX on Avalanche, and Fala Network, a parachain on Polkadot. Those are the stars of the show. They are still in the grid. Our portfolio has also gone up from last week by 8% overall, so we are now sitting at $1,674.10. We are still down a massive 24% from our opening position, but 24% based on some of the things we've seen. Comment down below and let us know. If you want to try and put things into perspective, go watch our recent video where we looked at Coinbase Ventures fund portfolio, where we highlighted some of their positions, how far the drawdowns have gone. Check the links down below and go watch that so that it can help you put things into perspective. Any comments, guys, let us know down below. Until next time, this is FD for Search5.tv, your host for today, performing an update on our 2K to 100K portfolio challenge. Until next time, bye for now.